Hello and welcome to my initial impressions of the Real Steel Luna. This knife arrived to me yesterday from Henny Haynes. It had been on back order, so I waited about a month, I think, for this to arrive. It cost me £80 with a little discount code that I managed to track down, and yeah, I was excited to get this knife. And then there is nothing worse than paying your money and having to wait what I class as a long time, for something to arrive. Oh, it's driving me mad. But anyway, it's here now, and my initial impressions are good. It is a UK legal carry knife, as you probably know, because if you're searching for this video, you know what you're looking for. So that will come as no surprise. Titanium handle scales, and a Bowler N690 blade steel. It does feel incredibly well made, I must admit. If I keep it in frame, you'll be able to see it even better. It does feel incredibly well made. It was actually a YouTube channel called UK Legal Carry Knives, I hope I said that right, where I first saw this knife, and it was right up my street. Although for £81 basically it cost me, that is up there in the money, probably about as much as I'd want to spend on a UK legal carry knife, to be honest. If you was unlucky enough to get stopped here in the UK by a police officer, you'd probably still have to argue your corner as to why you have it. And I wouldn't want to risk having 80 quid worth of knife just being taken from me, to be honest with you. Although on taking it out of the box, I have noticed it's more of a gripe, really, and it's to do with the nail nick. And this was also something that I saw on one of the reviews left on Henny Haynes. Someone said that the nail nick is uneven, and it is, or it is on mine, and what must be his as well. And I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up, but you can just see it there. So when you look down the back of the knife, the nail nick does not end at the same place each side. So it's actually longer on that side. No, sorry, shorter the other side and longer on this side. So the nail nick finishes further, closer to the tip on the side you can see now. That's not going to affect it in terms of use, but just visually that's a bit of an annoyance, actually, to be honest. The opening and closing on this is lovely. Stops about 3/4 open, and then extra little tug, it's fully open. You're going to struggle to open this one-handed. Closing it one-handed is fine, but opening is not. You can put a little, what they call quick thumb studs or something like that. I did have one on there that will allow you just to flick it open, but without that you're not opening it one-handed. What else is it? The other thing is this bit here. I do kind of wish they'd rounded that off, because when you grab it, if you put some pressure down, I do just feel that ever so slightly, the higher up your hand is, which was where you'd use your jimping there and the bit that's going to stop it from closing on your finger, and to be honest that gets more uncomfortable the higher up you have it. So if you have it where it looks like you should hold it, it's at its most uncomfortable. But if you bring your hand down a little bit, that does affect you ever so slightly less. But if it does close, it's probably going to give you a little nip. But I am left-handed, and I must admit that seemed less of an issue if I was to hold it in my right hand. I wonder if that's because that pocket clip just pushes it in a slightly different place on my hand. That may not affect you, but that's just something I thought as a lefty. For some reason that does just slightly dig in, but that's if you give it a really good grip. And this isn't the sort of knife that you're going to be using for anything other than probably opening boxes and cutting an apple. And to be honest, I'll be able to tell you more about that side of things once I've actually got some use out of the blade, because at the minute all I've done is took it out of the box. It come with me out in the field today, but I didn't have a use for it, so it sat in my pocket pretty much the entirety of the day. It comes sharp out the box, not blisteringly sharp, but it will shave your hair. I'm not going to do it 'cause, to be honest, I don't have a great deal of hair left on my arms, so I look a bit like a bald eagle anyway. So I will leave it there. I don't think there's anything else really left to say. Yeah, nice little knife. I recommend getting it at the minute. I can't see me having any major issues with it, to be honest. And to be honest, just aesthetically, it's worth buying just because it's pretty. So, catch up with you soon. Thank you very much.